If I had to choose one takeaway from 2020, it would be that there is no promise of tomorrow. Now, I heard this sentiment in terms of life and death as a kid. I remember hearing people talk about that, live each day like it's your last, whatever the case may be, because there's no guarantee of tomorrow. But I had never heard it in the way that we experienced it in 2020. And I say all of that because things flipped around. There are very few adjectives that you can insert into 2020 that don't fit. And it's because the year was odd, it was strange, it was weird, it was different. But things that we thought that were going to happen, things that we thought we had planned, and the way that we thought we had them planned didn't end up happening the way that we had them planned. We were planning to go to Disneyland as a family. That didn't happen. Disneyland closed. There were things that we wanted to do, things that we had an expectation of, and things changed. And I think a lot of times it's so easy to put off things. There's certain things that we put off. We don't prioritize them because we can do them later. We can take photos later. There was a barn. It was an old decrepit barn 2 years ago that I wanted to take a picture of, and I never stopped to take a photo of it because I thought I can do it later. 2 weeks later, it collapsed. Now, minuscule example of what I'm talking about, but the reality is that 2020 showed us that tomorrow's not guaranteed, whether in life or in the way that you had it framed. And so to wait on taking trips and traveling, going on adventures, and to wait and push off those things, it just became very evident to me that those things that I really wanted to do, those things that I wanted to experience, the memories that I wanted to make with my family, I needed to make time for them now. I needed to prioritize them now. I needed to do them and make effort for them right now.
Clap your hands.
Because we're not guaranteed tomorrow. It was a good year. It turned out to be a fun year, and I know that there was hardship and there were difficulties and there were struggles. But there's things that came out of 2020. We ended up running over to Montana and spending a couple weeks living in our trailer over in Montana.
We're riding at the skate park in Dillon, Montana, and we're in the full pipe right now, and it's super cool because it echoes. Over, say echo.
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 And then we ended up taking a couple days to drive out to the Oregon coast. I took the quads out to the sand dunes and got to play out there. November, we took a trip. We flew down to Oklahoma to buy a car. Yes, there were cars available in Washington State, but I wouldn't have gotten a road trip. I wouldn't have gotten an awesome road trip from Oklahoma to Seattle without driving to Oklahoma first. So anyway, that's how we got that.
Going on an airplane to Oklahoma to get Mom's car at Oklahoma. Oh my God!
We ended up buying a car out there, driving it back, having a ton of fun, got some cool photos, some cool footage of that. And just had a good time with our kids. My parenting win for the year was that my wife and I, on that trip back from Oklahoma, we had 4 days of travel. One was an almost 10-hour day, 2 were 12-hour days, and one was a 13-plus hour day, and we did not use tablets. So That was my celebration for 2020. Anyway, tomorrow's not guaranteed, and so we have to learn to live. Our word for the year was clarity, and we gave our year that word because we wanted to find clarity and we wanted to discover clarity in what it is that we were doing both personally and professionally. And I feel like a lot of clarity came in to our life, and there was a lot of things that actually got flipped around, and so it actually provided clarity in a different way. It started to actually cause us to ask questions and try to figure things out in a different way, and it ended up being a really good thing. So as we move into 2021, we're working to reframe some things. We're working to refocus some things. We're working to relearn some things that we thought that we had known before. This year I got to spend time that I probably would never have gotten to spend with my kids, with my wife, playing in the yard, wrestling, making movies, riding bikes, going on adventures, creating memories, making moments, and it was incredible. 2020 was a year. We learned some things, we grew, we were challenged, we had opportunities. I'm excited about moving forward into 2021 and excited about what's coming, what the future looks like, and that is my recap for 2020. We've got some moments to make. We've got memories with our kids to make. Let's do this.